Hi, I'm Josh, and well, welcome back to the third part of my Minecraft base tour thing. Yeah, it's recording good. I wasn't quite sure it would record. So, when we last left off, I essentially left us here. I've got a bunch of things to show you. Let's start off with this thing. What is this precisely? It's got a chest, an empty chest, that's getting drained of it, whatever's in it. It's got a big room. How about we start by taking out some gas tiers? A lot of gas tiers. I think that's what I actually used to make spiritus. Let's start by taking out some gas tiers from the machine. Let's take all of them. And then, let's go in here. Guess what's gonna happen? Actually, we can look from here. A ghast is gonna spawn, just spoiling it for you. And this is how I get my supply of gas tiers. Just we wait. And we wait. And we keep waiting. Okay. While we wait for the ghast to spawn, I can start talking about the other stuff. Now, some of this stuff hasn't quite worked. There's some ground up cows here. But some of this stuff is actually quite functional. I got a bunch of chickens in here, and just give me a sec here. Oh, there's a ghast. Two ghasts, actually. Let's put the ghast tiers back. And the ghasts are going to get ground up by these machines. See? Perfect. Enjoy. But yeah, I got some chickens here as well. The coop might be moved at some point. And see all these eggs? All these... They're supposed to be drained out from here, but that does not seem to be happening at the moment. Which is vexing. I might have enough eggs, I don't know. But once... I do know that the eggs eventually are supposed to show up somewhere around here. And then they're supposed to go into the AE system. But it would seem the egg tank is full. There's another one of those void chests, the same ones I use for trees. Saplings. The eggs are moved in here, and then from there they are taken into my AE system. And what do they do in the AE system? They simply are used to make more cake, so that's perfect. The cows are another story. That machine in the back there is a rancher. It milks them. I don't have too many of them right now. I want some more, but things have gone wrong with them in the past, so I might want to go feed them later. This is a whole other interesting beast, but first I'm going to show you something I might have missed earlier. This is one more wand focus I haven't shown you yet. The wand focus of warding. Now this is a very interesting little wand focus. Now how does this work again? Oh, nope. That's how you remove wand focuses, foci. Yeah, this is the button. If I do this, see the arrows change? I can make it wider or narrower. I could make it, you know, bigger or smaller if it's working. Heaven's sake, change it. Oh no, that's the diagonal. That's not gonna fly. Whoops. I'm a dumbass. Sorry about this. Still getting used to it. I think this will work, yeah. See, it's smaller now. And even smaller. And this, I'm doing it again. And this is a great way to ward objects. You know what warding does? I'm gonna make it bigger now. Warding makes blocks entirely unbreakable. Which is interesting because I've warded some stuff as Joshua Zed, and I can't unward it as Joshua Sweetvale. So some of this stuff needs to be transposed with the teleposer. Otherwise it's still indestructible, but at least it's no longer in my base if I transpose it. This is supposed to be a sheep farm, but it's not working right. And this was supposed to be a calves turn into cows get killed farm. But that doesn't work right either. So I got some pink slime out of it. Yay. That's actually a good part of my range weapon, a semi-automatic crossbow. It's real fun. Okay, what this is. I've teased you long enough. This is a pressure chamber, which is used for pneumatic craft. It turns iron into pressurized iron, which is the main resource. This is a UV light box, so is used, among other stuff, to make printing boards, which is also a resource for pneumatic craft. We might actually get working on pneumatic craft at some point. These are Vortex Turbines, which work with heat. The idea is to make certain parts of the refinery, for instance, make them hot, and other things to make them cold. Now, these are all thermopneumatic things, and they are designed to turn petroleum, as in oil, into different kinds of fuels and plastics. Now, some of these have already been drained out. Others are still in the process of being processed. Sorry about the puns there. But the general gist of it is to power the damn thing with pneumatic energy, or just electrics if you can turn electrics into pneumatics, which I like to do. And then get your turbines running and make the processing plants hot, and just get a bunch of frack your petrol, essentially. Yay. It's actually what it's called. Cracking. Crack your petrol, not fracking. That's done in... Fracking's done underground. Cracking is done in silos, yes. This is essentially a computer manufacturer for the pneumatic craft. So that's not going to be a problem. I'm actually going to show you I think it was the spreader. It's named after a machine gun blast attack from Mega Man Battle Network. I said, oh, I don't have any bolts. That's why I just fired one. It's fired the one bolt I had. Right, let's get some bolts. These are Tinker's Construct weapons, which I've yet to show you. Let's move over. Okay, here's my girlfriend. Oh my, cursing. Ah well, it's not exactly quite for kids. I'm sorry if you're a kid, don't say that kinds of things. But you shouldn't actually watch my stuff. I'm probably for teenagers and up. Just give me a sec here. Recording. What's up? Evil grin. But yeah. This is what a pink slug crossbow, thaumium crossbow can do. It's quite nice. It doesn't have a lot of durability, but it doesn't need to because it shoots very quickly. It's thaumium and writable. So it's a bunch of other stuff. Likewise, of course. But yes, let's continue. Essentially, come on, love comes first. But essentially, you use this giant forge and some other stuff to build some nice items which can ruin just about everybody's day for a cheap and good price. We're actually going to go to the roof now. I've got a standard issue netherwort farm, a wheat farm, which is actually automated with this MFR machine, just like the ones that dealt with the cows. I'm actually going to turn into something else. I can transform into everything I've killed. I can also, amusingly enough, to transform into my former self, Joshua Zed. I have no idea why. Maybe because I've killed myself in the past and it actually records that? I don't know. We get a planter that plants the crops when they are harvested. That sadly does not work for magical crops, which is the same thing that produces this sword. Yeah, the really powerful sword, remember? I've also got some chicken crops, just in case I needed more chicken stuff, like eggs. They are not functional with the automatic systems, alas. I've also got a blood ritual here. I think it's inactive, I'm not entirely certain. That's intended to make these things grow faster. I also got all sorts of other crops here, as you might have already seen, and some forest stuff. None of it's really all that functional. And above here is something really interesting. I've actually learned this particular thing from Duncan and Kim from Ghasts. Wait a sec. Well, and Reddit FTB, because I go there a lot as well. The final boss of Britannia is really vulnerable to bear traps from open blocks. He teleports the hell around this arena, which you can make with Gaia pylons and a beacon in the middle. I've removed that beacon. But I essentially killed him relatively easily, because not only did all his minions get trapped in the open blocks bear traps, he did as well, and it prevented him from teleporting anymore. That was really fun. It was a bit trivialized, of course, but I could have killed him anyway. It just made an annoying fight a lot less annoying. Let's go downstairs one more, because we are going to actually have a look at the AE core. This is essentially, I think I covered everything outside and on the roof, and on the first floor as well. This is a quick preview of the other stuff I'm going to show you, my reactor down there, and one of the big ziggurats, which I'm going to go in gushing depth about later. Okay, this is my four times ore processing plant. It's not 5 times quite yet. It's 4 times. It bumps up, what's this called again? This slurry, this brine. It's really salty water from a copper water tank that produces brine in the solar age. And it pumps that up, and it's used to create, well, let's see what's in here. It's used to create hydrogen chloride from chlorine and hydrogen. Well, you can make hydrogen out of oxygen and hydrogen, of course. I mean, you can make hydrogen by turning water into hydrogen and oxygen, and you can make, I'm going to go into this in depth more later, and you can make chlorine by turning brine into hydrogen and chlorine. Combining hydrogen and chlorine creates hydrogen chloride, and this hydrogen chloride is going to go into this machine. When you put a piece of ore in this machine, it gets processed, and when you then goes into this machine and this machine and this, and eventually what comes out are 4 pieces of dust, which can be turned into 4 pieces of ore. These machines are all very high capacity, so they can devour just as much ore as I mine, or not quite, but close. So I put a lot of work into that stuff. I can make it 5 times processing, but that's a bit beyond me right now. I might go into it later. If someone requests anything, if you actually see this stuff, if you request anything, I'm going to go make that a priority. Even if you're like Space Battles Forum, I'm going to make it double priority if you want to know about it. I think I can explain almost as well as Direwolf 20, and I'm definitely willing to try. Right, I got a large chest. I got a bunch of other stuff. I don't quite remember how this piping works, but I do know it's obnoxious and can be made a lot more efficient. But as usual, it's tied into my AE system, and it's what it's supposed to do, at least, is make sure I don't run out of a bunch of important stuff for my alchemy. I'll come back to that later. But it's working. There's like Thaumcraft alchemy, and there's blood magic alchemy. I needed a lot of stuff for both of them. I got an extra capacitor bank up here just to make sure I don't run out of power, because some of this stuff draws a lot of power, so I just wanted a bit of a buffer there. I got some other tools here as well. I think this is a splice and slice. Yeah, you can put zombie heads in there and Enderman heads and make them useful for Ender IO machines. This is an alloy smelter, which smelts, well, alloys. It's got fused quartz in it and some other stuff, I think. Yeah, it used to have some other stuff, but I think I already took it out. So yeah, this is nice. Metallurgic infuser, more stuff, essentially, to just make new components. And it's engineered so that, say, this is a precision sawmill. Any logs, let me just show you. This is an export bus. Any logs that come into my AE system get automatically put into this sawmill. From there, the logs get, well, sawed. They get sawed. It's a loud process, by the way. This thing is extremely dissonant and loud, but it has a strange charm to me. I don't know. Maybe because I grew up under aircraft engines. we lived somewhere near the runways of Schiphol Airport, so yeah. Anyway, the processed rubber and logs and sawdust and stuff get taken through the import bus and back into the AE system. So anytime I throw rubber logs in here, anytime I throw rubber logs in here, that's a lightning strike. Anytime I throw rubber logs in there, they get turned immediately into rubber and just planks. Right, that's done. Let's go into something really interesting. One of the last things: blood magic. I can gush for hours about this, and I just might. This is just a quick flyover. So yeah. I'm gonna stop being cute now. Okay, this is a... I haven't completely hooked this stuff into my AE system yet. Well, that can speak for itself. But the main 3 ziggurats I've got, you can only see 2 now, but there's one more beyond there. That's also where the beacons are. These are essentially required for the rituals. But the point is, this giant ziggurat is functional. It has its uses, and right now this one is used for crafting stuff. You put like slabs in here, and they get not slabs, pieces of stone. I think, yeah, you get pieces of stone. They get transformed into what was it again? Slates. They get turned into different kinds of slates, and the longer you let them in there, the more powerful the slate becomes. So this is my crafting altar. It's got a bunch of acceleration runes to make it go faster. It has a bunch of capacity runes to make sure it has enough buffer to get everything pumped in right. And it also has a bunch of dislocation runes to make sure the blood that I'm pumping in there, I'm actually pumping blood in here. It's called life essence, but it's blood. I'm pumping it in with the supralaminar fluiduct, so it goes essentially instantly. And the only limit is, well, not my imagination, but the blood altar itself and how much it's willing to receive. And I've jacked that up immensely with runes of dislocation. And I've also got some speed runes, which work together with the acceleration runes. No, wait. The speed runes make crafting go faster. The acceleration runes make the altar gobble up more blood quickly. And the dislocation runes make the altar just gobble up more blood in general. I don't know where there's one speed rune, why this one speed rune is there. It might be a balance thing, but I think I just overlooked it. So I might want to replace it. So I'm actually going to grab one rune of dislocation. Just give me a sec. This is going to be fun, actually. Because crafting is fun in Minecraft. Especially when you can fly and make holes and stuff. And you have... See, I got one rune of dislocation. Just the one. I probably missed it, yeah. I definitely missed it. Alright, okay, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my... This is a good demonstration. I'm going to go to my wand of equal trade, and right-click, shift right-click, crouch right-click, the rune of dislocation. Now, as you can see in the top left corner, the rune of dislocation is the item that's selected. And now, I'm going to right-click, just normal right-click the speed rune. It gets exchanged with the dislocation rune. You can do that on a much bigger scale, like a huge scale. Like I showed you with the other wand, it can be scaled. So let's go back to my favorite focus, my I don't need to wait for walls or floors focus. And let's go talk about alchemy. Not only can you create stuff with a special alchemy table, you put your blood orb, which is essentially your key, in there. It's essentially analogous to... That's not analogous to really anything in other mods. It's basically your credit card for your blood magic bank account. That's a good analogy. Okay. I have been, like, working with money just now, so could be that. But yeah, you put up to 5 items here, and some items will come rolling out. And some of this stuff, some of these special elemental ingredients... Oh, look at that. That's an old blood orb of mine. Some of these special ingredients can be poured into the alchemic calcinator, and then they get turned into different kinds of ingredients for use in really high-end rituals. That's what I use to make my make the demon village on the server. This is a different blood altar. This is the blood altar that actually creates the blood. It's got some acceleration runes and some dislocation runes, as you're used to. But the rest of it is all runes of sacrifice. Now, what runes of sacrifice do, they make the sacrifice of creatures that aren't you, like mobs or zombies or whatever, or flesh golems, a lot easier. Now, see all these Lego blocks up here? These are 2 rituals stacked on top of each other. It's one ritual for regeneration to make sure my little golem slaves, I call them the sufferers, heal even more quickly. I've designed them specifically to be made out of flesh, and to have fezzes on, to make them regenerate more quickly. Ha ha ha, Doctor Who, you know, with the glowy things. It actually works though. And beyond that, they don't have any cores in them. They just have these 2 nips, which means they are completely mindless, just like I want them to be. But that's essentially what I did. I've also, like, made them as as taboo as I could possibly get them to get more insanity, but that's wasted effort now because that was months ago, and like I said, I changed my name, so things changed. These two rituals, one helps them regenerate even further, along with the fezzes and the fact that they're made out of meat, and the other one damages them every second or so. And every time they get damaged nearby, this blood altar gets some more blood. And then from the blood altar, the blood, well, essence, it's blood, gets pumped into this barrel. And it's almost full. The amusing part is that these rituals are fueled by, well, my blood network. So it essentially fuels itself, because if we follow this line of blood, this line of essence, it gets moved all the way around here. All these weird pillars and stuff, not the stairs, but everything else is essentially necessary to make the level 6 altars function. So yeah, these are even demon crystal clusters. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back into my own body. That tiny form is not the nicest. But yeah, this is my orb altar, my third altar. You only really need 3, but you can only even make do with 1, but I like 3. It gives me incredible sustainability. So yeah, all these runes, all these altars have in common that they have a lot of runes of dislocation and runes of acceleration all the way on the top to make things go faster. But this one has a ridiculous amount of runes of the orb to make sure the amount of blood I have stored in my orb is incredible. I got like millions. And that's essentially my blood magic setup, I suppose. There's some more stuff. Oh yeah, there's some more stuff. But I also want to show you this. These are a bunch of essence berries. I've kept them in the dark here. You can't see it, but it is dark. It is dark as all hell. There's no lights here. Well, there's these beams, but there wasn't any light here before. And I do like these tunnels. I need to make more of these tunnels. But look at these things. I like to think of them as the 2 giant lungs at the side of my, the torso of my base. These rituals are all identical. They all do essentially the same thing. They create the item you put at the top of this little, this ritual, this blood altar. You put a blood altar down and you put a ritual below it. And then you put the item you want to craft on top of the blood altar. And then you finally you put an alchemy chemistry set next to the ritual. Now I've set things up so that these alchemy chemistry sets get pumped full of ingredients by the ritual, and then they semi-automatically, essentially, using just a little bit of blood, craft just as much of the ingredient as I want. So I've all the basic and perhaps not so basic blood magic ingredients I essentially have an infinite supply of. And these ME interfaces make sure they keep in stock just the right amount needed to craft exactly what I need. And there's the same is true on the other side, though this is more specialized along elemental lines, and that's what you need for the ridiculously powerful altar. There's a steady supply of this kind of reagent in gaseous form, which you need a calcinator for, to permanently alter rituals to make them more powerful and do other weird things. It's essentially like glyphing them in World of Warcraft, only it requires constant supervision. There's one more thing I want to show. Beside the fact that, well, someone made a railway up here and they made it inch in just one too much, so I moved it over, which was a lot of work, and all this tiling is mine as well. I like it. But it's a nice railway in and of itself also. Okay, so this is my big reactor. There's 3 major components to it. The actual reactor itself, the vibrant capacitor bank, which it's tied to with this giant cryo-stabilized flux duct, and the extra reactor, essentially. This is a lava generator. What it does is, what it's supposed to do anyway, is it's supposed to make electricity like a little bit of a dynamo, which trickle charges this giant vibrant capacitor bank. Look at the amount in it. It's supposed to trickle charge the giant vibrant capacitor bank when the full effort of the reactor is not needed. When the full effort of the reactor is needed, this is very simple. I haven't gone into robotics yet. One of one of these lights is going to start. No, this vibrant capacitor bank. That's it. Is going to emit a redstone signal. When the redstone signal is received, the generator is turned on. When the capacitor bank is almost full again, the generator is turned back off. So essentially the capacitor bank is a great way to make sure no yellorium or plutonium or whatever is being wasted. And the snow on top is because there's cryothium in between these reactor control rods to make sure they don't overheat. The idea is to make the case as hot as possible and the reactor control... No, wait. I don't quite remember how it goes, but I do remember that this is a really efficient setup. It's not active right now. It generally isn't because I can just run it off the 64 times stacked lava generator. This is a infinite supply of lava to keep people from pumping the nether dry. Our awesome server moderator actually gave us a code for an infinite supply of lava, which is orange, orange, orange for the ender tanks. So I've got an infinite supply of lava to work off, and if I really want to draw up power, I've got this thing ready to go. Yeah, which is nice, which is really nice. I might want to replace this thing at some point with solar panels to make things go a little bit more legit. And I want to turn this into a Generation 2 reactor, which means steam turbines. Might actually look into the fact that Railcraft is reputedly even better at creating steam than this stuff. So I might actually make a bunch of steam turbines using big reactor technology, and then using just Railcraft machinery to power them. I might not do that. Depends on whether it's more efficient or whether it's just more powerful. But we're at my bed right now. Isn't it clashy? Isn't it classy? It's clashy. But it's essentially the tour. So, if you want your base toured, especially if you're like part of the Space Battle server, singular, you just let me know. I'll have a look with you, especially if you got voice chat. Beyond that, I don't know, if you're someone else, you want me to explain a mod or show something or think of a solution to a practical problem, I'm your man. I just want to do some fun stuff, you know, with Minecraft, because I'm relatively good at this stuff, as you can see. If nothing shows up, I'm just gonna, even if stuff shows up, in between, I'm gonna actually work on my base, make it better, do some projects on it, you know, worky. That's it. So, see ya. Button. Yeah, button.